Hello, and welcome back to more Satisfactory PLUS. Yesterday we played vanilla with Galteran. Today we play solo with the mod. Now, it's been a little while since I played this. It was the 23rd, I believe, so it's over a week ago. So I've somewhat forgotten what we were doing on it. I've got a vague memory that we had just we'd finished Still and then used that to unlock a bunch of stuff. And looking at my little thing in the corner now, I can see we can about to unlock advanced manufacturing, which, if I have a gander at it, will give us a bunch of new items. So I think that's where we're going to start, and that'll give us an idea of where to go. So let's go straight ahead with that. Let's see how much of it we can do. We need more rotors. Just rotors. Okay, let's pick up a couple rotors then. And then we'll unlock a bunch of new stuff and add it to the list. So, gonna be a bit of a boring start, but an important thing to do. Here are our rotors. So I think I took like a week off. I think after doing all that Still, it sort of burned me out a bit. So I think I'm ready to have another go at it now. And it looks like at this point all these things have turned off, and the power's still good. So I guess we don't need those, which is good. I'll leave them there in case we do need them. But let's go unlock these things. Oh, I need more brass. One moment. I thought I had enough. Brass is all the way over in this direction. Bit of a journey to go. Yeah, I wonder if it'd be easier if I take this sort of highway above here, the concrete highway, which is still putting out large numbers. Despite I thought the boxes would have been filled up by now, but look at that, huh? Now, does this connect anywhere? It doesn't seem like it does. It seems it gets... Oh, wait, hang on. There's a line here. I must have built this anticipating a connection line. I haven't put anything on it. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure what I did there. But this will lead us... Oh, yes, I remember I put that big water pipe, didn't I? I'm in a good mood today. Because I was working on that comic idea, and I had a really great idea on it as I was going. So what I've been doing is, as you know, I'm a big fan of sort of the Greeks and the Romans and their mythology and stories, and so a good way to come up with ideas is just sort of go through those sources. And I was using Wikipedia for this because it's very, very easy to do. And I was looking for stuff because a sort of core god in the story is Apollo. He's the sort of the god of art and archery, and also the sort of the god of lights. He's the god of the sun, and it plays an important role. And so I was, and he's sort of the subject of the MacGuffin, and I was trying to figure out what to do with him. And so I was reading through the sort of Wikipedia page on Apollo of all the various sort of stories and mythos and bizarre little tales told about him. And I came up with a really great idea. So the MacGuffin in the story is I struggled for a while trying to figure out what it was. I knew it was something related to Apollo. And it was this thing that caused this big kaboom because the person who attempted to wield it was deemed unworthy by it. And the god punishes him by killing him and everyone nearby. And I think I've decided now. I think I want to make it a radiant crown, like the Statue of Liberty. This is an ancient motif. It's been used in a bunch of stuff. And it's very cool. It's very cool. And it's also an excuse I can make it gold. And so far, all the cool things are gold in the world. But anyway, and it's a MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin, and I thought, well, how do I finally present it? What does it look like when they finally get the MacGuffin? And I had this great idea. What if I make it like a games, a ludi, a sort of festival games, a typical Greek mythology festival games, but it's like entirely orchestrated by this radiant crown. because it's like, it's such a powerful magical item, and it's got a will of its own, and it's like a god who wishes to be entertained, and so it forces everyone to participate in these games, which would sort of be like an anime fighting tournament arc, but in a sort of Greek mythology twist. I think it'd be a brilliant idea. I gotta make sure not to get ahead of myself, because this is something that happened like late in the series, so yeah, it'd be many years away if I actually did draw it. But what a brilliant idea! So I'm in a very good mood because I thought of that, and I'm very close. I think there's two things I need to do before I can sit down and actually start. Well, there's two things. Hopefully, the last two things is I need architecture. I need to know what this world looks like in terms of its buildings. And I've been sort of doing like studies and stuff of like Pompeii and Rome and stuff, trying to figure out what I can do with this. One trouble I've got with sort of the Greco-Roman style is that while it's very unique, it's very ornate. It's very ornate, and I don't like why it's ornate. I feel it's ornate because guy's got loads of money. He wants to show off how much money he's got, so he's like, go pay the artist as much money as you have to make the most ornate thing possible. I don't like that. I want it to be significant. Imagine like the Chinese tea rooms. They're not just a building for the sake of a building. The building itself, the architecture itself, has philosophy behind it. It communicates something. It's almost like poetry. And I want to do something like that. I want to take sort of Greek architecture, both interior and exterior, and reshape it to have meaning, some kind of meaning. I think that this is something that's beside my story idea. This is an idea I've had for years now, and I have struggled because it requires a lot of. It is quite a thing requiring a lot of knowledge of a lot of fields, but I think this is the time where I've got to make some attempts at it. And going along with that, I also need a religion for the world. Now, I know I want it to be like pagan Rome, where they have the old Greco-Roman gods, but I need to modify it. For example, the biggest thing that I don't want to do is animal sacrifice, which was a huge thing in the pagans' time. They sacrificed animals all the time. Every altar was basically a structure designed for animal sacrifice, and all the iconography on it was all animal sacrifice inspired. So I don't want to do that, which means I need to completely build it from the ground up. And so that's a challenge there. If you want to have these sort of priest class people and they're doing their religious duties, what are they doing if they're not sacrificing animals? You have to sort of design that. And those are the two things: the architecture and the religion. The real world building of the world, which I've deliberately left until last, because most people do that first, and then they have no characters, and so I made the characters first, because that's the important thing. I came up with character ideas first, and now I've done that. I'm really happy with the idea of the story and the characters. I really like them. Now I have to design the world, and hopefully it won't take too long. So far, I haven't had any successes. I've made sort of studies and experiments with, what if the walls look like this? What if the buildings look like this? And so far, it doesn't look right. See, one thing I've got is, and honestly, I'm on the fence about this. The world it's Greco-Roman inspired. It's very that kind of fantasy-esque. But the character designs are very modern, and I like the character designs. I like their outfits. I think they're very good character designs. I don't want to change those. I've tried changing them. I've tried putting them into like ancient clothing. It really doesn't work. Most of the characters are female, and all the examples of actual ancient female clothing are just big, cumbersome dresses, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Maybe with some more creativity I could design something interesting, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's looking for inspiration for this kind of thing. I was looking at, sort of the anime and stuff, because they do, like, Edo period and stuff all the time, but their characters still look interesting. But even looking at the actual historical stuff they wore, it's still better looking than the ancient Greek stuff. It's sort of, men would go around in these very cumbersome clothes. Women would go around even more cumbersome clothes. It's not good for fighting in. And then the fighting, the stuff they would use for fighting, the warrior clothes, well, they're big, like, suits of armor. It's just not... It's not to my liking. It's not to my liking. So I've given most of the characters just sort of modern clothes, and I'll shape the world around so it's like it's not actually ancient times. It's like modernish times. It's like Naruto. That's what it's like, Naruto. You look at Naruto and it's like they don't exactly live in the modern world, but at the same time they do. Like I'm pretty sure Naruto has like a TV in his apartment, and most of the characters they're wearing kind of modern clothes, but at the same time not modern clothes. It's pick and choose. It's pick and choose, and it's a fantasy world that works with it. And so I think that's the direction I've got to go in. I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, but from what I can see, that seems to be doing kind of a similar thing, where they're in the modern world, but something's not quite right about it. It's a mix of the two. And I think that's the direction I've got to go in, which means more difficulty for designing architecture and religion, because I can't just copy ancient stuff. Because, I could copy ancient stuff. I'm a big fan. I've got millions and millions of references of, Rome and Pompeii and these Greek temples and stuff, and I know how they look like when they're reconstructed, all their colours and their shapes and textures and stuff, but when I try to draw that, it just looks like it's from the Bronze Age, because it is from the Bronze Age, and that's no good. I need to modernize it somewhat, and this is very challenging, because a lot of the things in it are not necessarily fixed to ancient times. You have a wall, and the wall is painted. That could be any time, it could be Bronze Age, but it could also be modern day. We can paint our walls today. The furniture, they sit on these kinds of, like, chairs and stools and stuff, and there's nothing... They're particularly well made, and you could have them in the modern day, and this is the trouble I've got, where I want it to be traditional. I think of, like, a comparison of think of, like, the traditional, like, Japanese homes, with the floor mats and the paper screens and that sort of thing. And it's a bit old-fashioned. People don't really live in those today, but there's nothing distinctly ancient about them. Like, you can have a modern person go and sit in that, and it works. It doesn't think... You look at a picture of a traditional Japanese house, and you don't think it looks like, oh, this is a picture from the Bronze Age. You very well can see it's from modern times, but it's just traditional. How do they do that? I think there's a few things they do. First, you've got to make it... Excuse me. I need to drink some water. First, you've got to make it clean. One distinguishing feature of something being ancient is it being in disrepair. Let's say you have a marble temple, for example, and it's covered in cracks. Yeah, obviously this is ancient. But if you make it and it's brand new, well, maybe that's not so ancient anymore. It's the same style, but not old, not worn out, brand new. And the same thing with... I was about to say something. And then there's features which are ancient. For example, windows. The ancients, they did have glass, but they didn't use it that much. It was expensive, difficult to produce. They didn't have glass. Their windows were just open, and they had bars to cover them up and stop people climbing in. And that is a feature of traditional sort of Roman architecture. You see the windows, and they have these sort of decorative bars in the sort of crisscross shape. And a few other shapes as well, but crisscross was the popular one. And they did this because they didn't have glass. What do you do about this? Now, one thing you could do is you could just get rid of it entirely and make it a modern window. That would be probably the most rational thing to do, but then you lose a little bit of the design. So maybe instead, keep the crisscross pattern, but put glass in there, so it's not just open to the elements, and it's become a decorative element. Sort of thing like, traditional paned windows, which are, they've got the panes and stuff, but there is glass there. That could work. And things like that. There's one thing which is a real curiosity is there is a traditional feature in Roman homes, ancient Roman homes, called the impluvium, where in the center room of the house, in the main room of the house, the atrium, there was a hole in the ceiling. It wasn't like a hole. It was like it was an opening. It was like a skylight, but it was an actual opening, and the rain would come in, and then this was obviously done for ventilation and that kind of stuff. But it was also directly where the rain would fall in. there was a little pool, because you didn't want the rain just to soak your house. You had to collect that water, and so directly under that skylight was like a little mini pool, and that collected rainwater. And that would also serve as sort of the source of water in the house. They'd get their water from the impluvium. That's what it's called, the impluvium. This is born out of, they didn't have AC, they needed water. This is quite an ancient feature, but it's really iconic. A comparison I can think of is the fire pit in Japanese homes. They would have a part in the house where you would remove a bit of the floor, and there was a bit recessed where you would light a fire, because this is how you heated your house, and this is a lot of houses. And even when people do live in traditional Japanese homes, as far as I know, they don't use this. They have modern heaters, and that thing just is like antiquated. They cover it up. They don't want to look at it. Maybe they just use it as cold storage or something. But the center fire thing, it's not very interesting in the Japanese home, in my opinion. It is just a hole in the ground. But the impluvium in the Roman homes, it's exciting. It's this ornate pool. There's a skylight. It's a feature of the house. But some of them you see, they've got marble columns surrounding it, and they got little statuettes in the middle of it. It's like you got a marble mosaic on the bottom. It was really a feature of it. So I don't want to get rid of that. I guess so it has no functional purpose, so why do you keep it? You can't keep it purely just for aesthetics. I don't think that would work. People will not like having a hole in their ceiling just for aesthetics. So you have to invent a philosophical reason for it. It has to have a reason. That's interesting. I didn't actually know plural. Yeah, it's probably rain. So it's impluvium. In comes the rain. I guess that's probably what it means. Also, hello Vortis. Hello Vortis. I'm talking about interior Roman architecture. But so they've got this structure in their house, the impluvium, where the rain comes in from an open skylight and it falls into a little pool, and that's how they get the rain. That's probably how they cool down the house, or all sort of things like that. And I want to keep this. It's one of my favourite parts of Roman domestic architecture. But what do you do about it? Because it's completely impractical today. It has no, or rather, it lacks practicality. It's not. You don't need it anymore. So why would you have it? And of course, modern homes don't have this kind of thing. So you have to come up with a philosophical reason for why it's there. It has to have some kind of. It's there for some reason, some sort of poetical reason. The sort of the Buddhists, the sort of Zen Buddhists, they do this kind of thing a lot, where they come up with reasons for things that architecture now has. It's like a home built around a courtyard. Sort of tangential to that, old churches would have a fountain. It was very popular for churches to have a fountain outside them, and the reason for this was that the priests and stuff needed to wash their hands. They had to be clean and pure for their ceremonies and stuff. So they washed their hands in the fountain. That was why it was there. But after a while, it becomes an architectural feature, and people love it. And but I really like the idea of sort of like the whole Zen Buddhist thing, where they give this sort of poetic reason to things, like the whole Zen garden thing with like the rock garden, and it's like it's not just aesthetics, it has meaning, and it's well thought out, and that's really cool. I want to think of something like that, but not Zen. I don't care much about Zen. Something else. So I have to come up with a sort of a vibe, and then reimagine the architecture around that vibe, and that's what I want to do. I think that would be, and so it's both a tall order to do it really well, but if I can just get a glimpse, just a little hint, then I can put something together, and I think that would be a good start, and that's what I want to do. Hopefully, I don't spend 10 years doing that. Hopefully, I can do that in a short bit of time. But let's continue with our Satisfactory. We've got our brass pipes. And let's unlock a billion things and start adding them. We've got new buildings, we've got new parts, we've got the manufacturer, which we can't even make. We can't even make because we need heavy modular frames to make it. Oh my goodness. That's something. I don't even know where we're going to get heavy modular frames from. You need to make them in the manufacturer, but okay, okay. Parts. Let's see how many new parts we unlocked. Let's see. I think... Did we get belt mark 3? I think... Okay, only a few more parts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more parts to add. If we've got some heavy modular frames, I can make the thing to see how I can make them. But let's head over to our arts channel and add them in. So I need to move a little bit up. Arts. Print screen. Okay. We did have the belt mark 3, right? We did. Okay, so it's just these 5 items. And these are very distinct in appearance, so I don't need to label any of these, thankfully. Alright, where are these going? Let's stick them down here. Okay. Naturally from Paris. Also, we got our 2 elevator parts here now. Wonderful. Let's figure out how to make these things. We're going to probably need a manufacturer. Let's have a quick gander. Manufacturer, assembler. Okay. What do we need to make manufacturer? We need heavy modular frames. I think I've got some of those. I do. I picked some off the ground. There we go. We need motors. Do I have motors? I do have motors. Brass plates. Those are... I'm going to have to go get more brass plates. Let's head back over to the brass place. Oh, let's go up this slope, actually. But while I'm on this long journey, let's continue to think about this Roman architecture. What to do about it? So I want to have this. I guess let's look at the Japanese homes actually. The traditional Japanese home. They are both ancient, but they're also modern. Oh, it's almost fell off there. They're both ancient, but also modern. And as I say, they're distinctly classical. A few years ago, I built like a Roman house in Sims 1. But that's really interesting. I thought of I remember I had an idea of what would make a really good video game. Actually, it's like a Sims-like game, but where you make a house, but entirely with like ancient Roman parts. So you get like ancient Roman furniture, you get ancient Roman frescoes for the walls, you get like the ancient Roman kind of like studded doors, you get like the what they call the Lorarium and you get like the Impluvium and you make like an ancient Roman house. And with like all reconstructed parts, so it doesn't look old and decrepit. It's like all brand new and clean, and you'd get like a real idea, a real natural feeling of like, you know, what did this thing actually look like? Because when you Google, you know, like ancient Pompeii and stuff, it's a bunch of ruins. One of the Sims 1's expansion had a whole set of Roman stuff, ancient Roman stuff or modern Roman stuff. Because I know there's a lot of like there was like a recreation sort of thing of. There's a brass plate. Ancient style. I should have a look at that. That sounds interesting. Because it's really hard to get an idea of what these buildings look like in their complete form. You know, you can go and you can see them as they are in ruins, and you know the ceiling has fallen through, and the walls have chipped apart, and the mosaics all broken, and then the wooden furniture has been turned to charcoal, and many things are completely lost altogether. Like if they had stuff that was like made out of like paper or cloth or something, that's just burnt and gone. And then it's also worth knowing that things were moved around, and you know, so a lot of furniture is just straight up not in the original place. It was moved but looked like how it would have looked new. I should have a look at that. That sounds interesting. One moment. Oh, I see some of it. I see some of it. Some of it looks authentic. They've got the curule chairs. They sort of got the buildings and they got those trees. It's sort of there. Like, some of the stuff's authentic, but it's not authentic enough. Not authentic enough. It's sort of, it's like 40%. It's 40%. Like, some of the items are, but sort of like their arrangements are different. Like one thing is, like, they did have table and chairs, but it's not. But they didn't use them that much. They didn't eat. You wouldn't eat food. They didn't eat food at like a typical table and chairs. They would eat them on a reclining bench. That was their traditional sort of dinner. They would use a table for writing. They'd have they had a room called a tabularium. Yeah, the triclinium. And yeah, that's another thing. The triclinium. That's like it's this really interesting traditional bit of like architecture that, like, it went away after like the 11th century or something, where it really where people started using chairs more. And it's interesting. I don't know when cutlery became invented. I have no idea when that appeared. But there was another one. It's called the tabularium, which was sort of, it would be in between the atrium and the garden, sort of, I forget, the peristylum garden, and that was where a lot of business was done. That was where you would have a table and chairs, and you would have your bookshelves, or your scroll shelves, I suppose, and you would have a table there and a chair to do work on, and that was where a lot of the business was done. But outside of that, you don't see typical tables and chairs so much. People, it just wasn't a thing. There were lots of small little round three-legged tables and small chairs that were like fold-up chairs almost, but people didn't have such traditional furniture like they have today. It was very, very different. It's hard to put together how they lived. But all right, let's build ourselves a manufacturer, and I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put it. There we go. This will do. Does it look different? I feel like it looks different. I don't know. I guess I haven't seen one in it's such a long time. Alright. These are the two recipes we've got. Motors and the other thing. Alright. I can DM you on Discord with pictures of that build. If you like. I don't know if you have me on Discord. I think maybe you're in my Discord. I don't know. If you can find me on Discord, feel free. Let's see, let's head over to art and put together our motors. So steel bolts, iron sheets, stators, rotors. Lots of stuff. That's going to be a build and a half. Let's see. Motors. Steel bolts, stators. Iron sheets. Rotors. Is that everything? 1, 2, 3, 4. That must be everything. Alright. And what order were they? Rotors, stators. Let's see. Rotors, stators, iron sheets, and steel bolts. This is nuclear. For the Metal Gear Solid game. There was an alternative variant of this which I've lost, and I'm really upset that I've lost it. Where it was like a Christmas theme of it, and I can't find it. I'm very upset. Oh, this is too big. There we go. All right, numbers. We got 15, 15, 25, 150. 15, 15, 25, 150. Make that look like a 5. To give 10 motors. Yeah, I mean, it was like the exact same lyrics, and it was still kind of the same theme, but like the backing instrumental was more like Christmas jingly. It was a very, very peculiar song, but I liked it. I haven't been able to find it since. There we go, there's motors. Oops, next is Heavy modular frames. I wonder if these are going to be easier or harder, because I just made a heavy modular frame in the collab world with Gelteran, and we didn't even finish it in like 3 hours. It's absolute pain. Alright, let's see. Modular frames, encased beams, brass pipes, steel bolts. Okay. Steel bolts. Brass pipes. Modular frames. I think that's all of it. Oopsie daisy. Items. And these are modular frames. Steel beams. Brass pipes. Steel bolts. What are the numbers? We've got 10, 15, 10, 15, 37.5, and 225 to make 3.75. Okay, so we're going to need a lot of steel bolts, which is a problem because I don't think we made that many. I'm going to check out how many we did make in a second. We just add this to the thing. And making that still was a difficult one. So we're making, yeah, not even close. We're making like 90, so both of these need more than 90, so we're going to have to make like a whole new steel thing for steel bolts. Alright, now we'll go get some assemblers. Assembler. Start adding the new recipes for that. We got versatile framework, bronze frames and steel rods. Versatile framework, bronze frames and steel rods. Pieces of my heart, and I'm missing you when you're gone. What are the numbers? We got 3.75. It's a bit small, actually. Oops. 3.75. We've got a very strange number here. 56.25. 56.25. To produce 5.625. 5.625. Very odd numbers. There's a ratio there of some kind. Let's put that there. Next. Automated wiring, stators and cables. That's easy, we can start making that now, actually. Stators and cables. What's the numbers? 10 and 35. 2, 3.75. If I can find cables nearby the area where I made the stators, I can put them together easily. That'll probably be the first thing we try. Get an easy win. What else? What else did we unlock? Anything new? Cased industrial beams. We need steel beams and concrete. That's probably also quite easy. Alright, cased industrial beams is steel beams and concrete. So where are my steel beams? All the way up here. And concrete. Oh, hello, Sabaton. What are the numbers of this one? They are 18 and 60. To produce 6. I think that's all the new recipes. I don't think we have anything new. Of course, there's probably a bunch of alternatives we've yet to get, but I believe that's all of them. I think we've got everything else. All right, let's go get some easy wins. Let's go get some. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Let's go get some easy wins by going over to the steel area and seeing if we can go and make, I think, both automated wiring and the other thing. I think encased industrial beams. Where is my steel area? I've completely forgotten now. Where did I build steel? I've got a feeling it's somewhere in this direction, but that doesn't. I don't think it is. Where did I remember. I remember now. I built it by the near the beach area. Now I remember. And we can get to it by going through a cut through the coal area. We have also unlocked coal. I was wondering. I could hear a sound. I was wondering what it was, but it's drilling outside. But yeah, this sort of having to build more steel. That's not gonna lie. That's kind of daunting. I had a lot of trouble building the steel the first time. Although I may have made it overcomplicated. I may have overcomplicated it by doing by making all the various items with it, which required me to bring in like 3 extra materials. So maybe if I'm just making one material, maybe it'll be a little bit easier. We'll see. Yeah, wow, that drilling is loud. That must be almost next door. Also, we had trouble. We picked the location, and even still, we kind of had to stretch ourselves a little to get all the materials, because there was a lot of them needed. Hopefully this next time will sort of be all right. Because as far as I know, we're still on Mark 1 miners. I think can we? Yeah, I don't even know if we've got the Mark 2 yet. Let me check. Yeah, we still don't have the Mark 2 miners yet, so it's sort of by this point in the game you're usually on Mark 2 in vanilla, and so there's a bit of a struggle for resources. Oh, how much power do we have? All right, we got loads of power at least. But yeah, with that sort of Roman building stuff, it's very difficult. You know, how do you draw something that is traditional? You know, so it's like it's as close to it was in its ancient form, but still reads as if it was something today and not ancient. It's quite challenging. All right, let's see. The still area's over here, I believe. And what a big thing it is. You know, these and it'll still be running, I know, for now, but it will eventually back up, and already this has got no still ingots, which worries me. The still ingots are coming from here. There's nothing in here, which means there's nothing coming out of here, because this is missing crushed Gangu. Oh dear. I believe this is the Gangu input. Oh, okay, so this must have been the last thing I did before I finished. I was working on this sorter, and I had not yet got rid of the excess. So it looks like the Gangu's going in here. I need it to... Come on. Come on. Nothing's going in... Well, what's going on there? Oh, there's going on. It just hadn't loaded. Alright, so the Gangu goes in all of these. It gets split off and goes into all of those, which I assume will merge together and get sunk as concrete. Yeah, they'll get sunk as concrete. But I do want some of it to go to... up here. And split... give me a splitter. Split right here, perhaps. Merge over there. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, so these merge all together there, and they'll all come out here. And then the overflow will go that way. Any will go that way. Like so. Come down like that. It'll merge there, and that'll be all the Gangu we could possibly want. Okay. The Gangu is the priority, I believe, actually, so we want to switch these. This to be the overflow, and this to be the any. Is that going to work? I assume it will. Well, let's switch all these then. Overflow. 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 Okay. So that should now start going up and going in that direction. We want this one here. Yeah, that's already set up, so any overflow will go in there and get sunk. Is that powered up? It is. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's our Gangu going once again, and hopefully that's pretty much all the Gangu. And then any overflow will go in here and hopefully all get sunk, and hopefully that can hold all of it. There's no belt balancing going on here, so hopefully it's alright, and if there's even any more, and it can't go down there, it'll just immediately go into here and get sunk. I think this will work. I think this will work. Okay. And that should get the still flowing again. Yes, that gets our still flowing again. We're gonna be having a lot of these troubles. Alright. Let's have a quick gander at our recipes and see. The music suddenly stopped. Oh, it was the end of the song. Okay. Let me get a song I like. What do I want to listen to? I kind of need to get rid of some of these songs, because I've had them on my playlist for so long that they're good songs, but I've listened to them too long. Let's see. Cables or concrete. Concrete would be an easy one because I've got concrete. Let's go find our steel beams. They're around here somewhere. Where are steel beams? Here are steel beams. Okay. Let's put some. Come on. Let's put a splitter. What's this potentially coming out? 22.5. And we're going to put that in a box. But some of it is going to go to another assembler somewhere. I can probably squeeze it right here. I don't know how I'm going to get the concrete in, though. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to set that to encased industrial beams. Let's go find some concrete. That's Gangu. Concrete is right here. Okay. So we want a splitter. We'll use a smart splitter. And that'll be overflow. And this will be any. Now that should continue to work. Hopefully, I'm almost tempted just to make these. Hopefully, I'll get enough concrete because there's barely any coming in here. That's probably not going to be enough for what I want. Okay. How do we bring this down? We've got to get it all the way over to here. So we don't yet have the floaty things. Come on, hey, try and get up here. Let's see, will it reach that far? No, not even close. Okay. I've got a strategy for this. Okay. Can I get up there? I can. Oh, down! What an idiot I am. It's alright, I don't think I can get up there again. Can I get up there again? Not like that. Well, I can jump from here. There we go. And from here we can take our belt. There we go. Now we can get rid of this. And that will deliver concrete. Oh crap, I need to do that. It's very dark down here, and I do not yet have lights. There we go, hopefully that's taking concrete well enough. Get rid of the conveyor poles, we don't need them. Well, we've got some concrete going in. I don't know how much we need, but do I have a power pole nearby I can connect this to? I connect it to that. There we go. Now we need another box. Hopefully that'll be alright. There we go. Okay, industrial beams being made eventually. Hopefully nothing else backs up. I think I'm gonna set those smart splitters actually to just any on either side so that each one gets a fair share. I don't think it needs to be anything more complicated at the moment. I want everything to get a fair share. Not none, come on. There we go. And hopefully it doesn't just totally overflow. Or back up, I mean. These are all empty at the moment, which is good. That's got lots in it. Looks like these are going to back up almost immediately, which is good, because then I'll get lots of concrete. Okay. Alright, did that make any yet? Oh, it's already made 4. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. What's the next? Oh, I was on the wrong scene the whole time. That was like 10 minutes. Whatever. Alright. Now let's try and make these. So we're going to make cables. Because making anything in this is a nuisance. Let's figure out how to make cables. We need how many cables? Is it 30? 35 cables. Let's see. Let's see. Cables, 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 cables. Where are they? Oh, I'm blind, I'm blind. Seriously, where are the cables? I can't see them. Are they not in phase 1? Well, what's in phase 2? Cables. Okay, there's wires there. I'm gonna need that. Come on, I'm making cables. Where's my cable recipe? Alright, I'm gonna go one by one until we find this thing. Did I accidentally? There it is, in the top row. Oh, found it after a billion years. Alright. My goodness, that took so long. Alright, now we need rods. And then we need ingots. We can get ingots 2 ways. I can't remember. I'm going to have to check my things to figure out which way is the better way to get ingots. Excuse me. Alright, we need the tiniest amount. Alright, no, actually we need that. Means we need that. Still a very tiny amount of copper ingots. Okay, did I have anything for copper ingots to determine which was the better one? Oh, I did. I'm already making a thing. I'm gonna have to make it again. So it was this recipe, I think. No, why would I use this recipe? That's very bizarre. I can just do straight from kaolinite, can't I? How much do I need? I need 24. Crushed kaolinite. How do I get crushed kaolinite? Like that. And that'll give us more than enough. We're going to go and get rid of the thing, of course. Cables. Okay. Kaolinites. There's one there. Are we using all of that? Let's have a check. Let's see. This can produce 120, and we're using one of it. Okay. Let's yeah, let's are we using all of this also, or is this also backing up? Let's look at that still thing and see what we're using. We got 60 going in, and apparently we need more than that. What? We need only half of that. Okay. Now we should be using all of it. I think it's a not a real backup. Okay. Let's just build it right here then. Like that. It'll be crushed kaolinites, and then the gangu we just want to get rid of. Just quickly check my recipe, make sure it is indeed correct, so I haven't made a silly mistake. Yes, that's right. Okay. I guess we'll just hook this up to the same thing as the other one. Not high enough. Okay, we're gonna need to have a merger here. And that will be over 60, but hopefully it won't be a big deal. Alright. And then what are we doing with the that's just going into a smelter. Production smelter. There's not much room here. That's dumb. That's better. And then I'll make crushed cannelite copper. Any free power lines? We can use this one. Okay. That gives us our copper, which we need to turn into, I think, how many constructors is it going into? 2, and then 2, and then 1. That's a lot of constructors. I want to do that elsewhere. I want to do that over by, I think, the stators. Yes. Let's go find the stators. So that'll be where it's best to do. I believe they're around here somewhere. Here they are. And there's plenty of room also. Okay, excellent. Excellent. So we'll bring it around about here. How do we want to bring it around? We can bring it around the side here, I think. Where's it coming out of? Here. Is that the right height? I think it's close enough. There you go. Do we have any arriving yet? We do? Wonderful. Oh, I didn't realise I gotta get over this. I wonder if it's worth doing the manufacturing here, actually. I tell you what, we're gonna just go over this with a lift. Nothing too fancy about it. There we go. Okay. Now we got to do a split. And it's going to go into 2 constructors. Oh, come on. These are going to be making copper rods. And then these themselves are going to go into 2 constructors. To make copper wires. And then these are going to merge together. Oh, was that right? I think it was. Into 1 constructor. Oh, clearance. Why is that not working? Oh, it's because I've got this facing the wrong way. I'll tell you what, I'll put the constructor here then. There we go, and that's going to make cables. And then the stators here, they'll connect with something perhaps right here. Oh, I can actually do it like that. Oh, I'm going to need a split here. Box, box, box. No, no boxes nearby. Go there, I'll go there. And this will make automated wiring. Just stick in a box. Okay, let's hook up power to all of these. I think that was all of them? No, one more. Okay, I think that's all of that. We'll get some stators eventually. Okay. Hopefully we don't have any problems with the Gangu. I'm going to go up there and check it. If so, I'll have to upgrade the belts. Already I see there's a lot coming through here. This is almost a full belt. But this doesn't seem too bad. I think it'll be alright. Maybe it'll block up sometimes, but overall it'll be fine. How about these? Still no backing up, good. That's all going. I think all is working. Let's pick up a couple more of those industrial beams, wherever they were. Here they were. Very slow, very slow. We'll need a bigger thing for that. Are these all still working? Good, good. Okay. Easy wins. Easy wins. We got 2 of the things done. Now there are the challenging things. We're making steel rods. I don't know how many we're making. Let's check how many we're making. No. Wrong. We're not making steel rods. Oh, well, we're making loads of steel bolts. And besides the bronze, where's bronze? Bronze frames. They require kaolinite and siterites. You know, I don't know. I've taken like a week or 2 off of this steel because it was such a big thing, and I don't feel like making another steel thing. It's not the vibes aren't there. Let's head back to the base. Let's leave this be for a little while. and head back to the hub and see what we really need. Give ourselves some motivation for making these otherwise potentially meaningless items. Because I don't feel like designing a new steel plant immediately. It would get us through the tier. Right now we're... Oh no, we're not making smart plates yet. I've got the thing for it. Maybe I'll go turn that on, actually. I'll turn that on, and by the time I've got through the tier... By the time I've got the other ones, I'll probably have got through the tier. So I think I will... That's what we'll do. We'll go back, we'll turn on our smart plate thing. Now, that'll guzzle some of our rotors, but we've got loads of rotors anyway, and I think what does it also use? I think it uses reinforced frames as well. Something. I think it uses bronze frames. I can't remember, but we'll go back and we'll do that. But maybe it would be worth. Now that I have made steel, I understand the steel a lot better. And I understand the true scale of the Gangu problem. Do we have bigger belts yet? Let me check. We do! Oh, okay. We've got Mark III belts. It didn't even click in my head that we had Mark III belts, but oh, maybe we could try building a thing for generating power with the generator things. Figure out how that works. I don't know, we can figure out like the numbers for that perhaps. Or, you know, to be honest, I think after doing that heavy modular frames in the collab world yesterday, I don't think I'm in the mood for designing a factory. And there's not currently anything else I can do. We don't yet have trains, so I can't just lay train tracks, and I don't particularly feel like trying to design a pretty building because I still don't understand the game. This may be a short one. But let's see what the next milestone is. Well, there might not be too many milestones because we did just unlock the elevator parts. Oh, I remember. I gotta go. Where is it? I think somewhere over here is where my smart plates is being made. I believe this is it. Yes. What does it guzzle? Bronze plate. Okay, I can just turn this on. And that can just make them slowly over time. There's already like 70 in there, so that won't even take that long. Oh, we're not making the Mark III belt things yet. They require steel bolts, I think. Let me just check. Belts. Molten brass, airs. I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna make more steel. Alright, let's see what's next on this. Oh, there's loads of stuff. Okay, what do we got? The bigger boxes, bigger pipe set, and we got the Mark II miners. So that's something, and we can make... No, we can't make that, we need motors. Actually, I've got motors, I could buy that. Probably needs motors to make, though. I like hypertubes, that'd be fun. Bigger power towers, or the quartz, I guess. Lava vac, oh... Can we make any of this stuff? We could make that. I don't know what they'll need. We can get that. Look at this power storage, that's really important. Oh. I don't want to do it. Nah, sorry, I feel burned out from yesterday, I think. And I still feel burned out from last time still. Alright, whatever. We did make easy wins. That's important. We've got easy wins. We got one of the elevator parts, which was really nice to have, and I guess that's part of that big